You know we had to do a podcast, right?
What's your name, fat body?
Of course, you were looking food. What the hell?
I'm not fat. I'm big bone.
I'm gonna eat it.
You owe me for one jelly donut!
Fat motherfucker.
Listen to it. My wife said no one's gonna listen to us.
I've got bigger titties than you did!
Bullshit, because nobody fucking had geese back at that point for a bigger guy.
I'm not everyone's cup of tea, but I might be somebody's shot of whiskey.
You can't think about, hey, I need to lose 100 pounds, and think about winning that day.
Fucking, I want a cheeseburger and a milkshake. Yo, what's up, fatleets, and welcome to episode 65. It's been quite some time. I believe episode 64 was released something like a year ago, and man, I gotta say it's been quite embarrassing to want to continue doing the podcast. However, I feel like somewhat of hypocritical, or like because people are looking at me to help them lose weight, and hear myself. I got fat again. I kind of let myself balloon back up to 260 pounds. I saw myself putting on the weight. It was noticeable when the clothes started fitting tighter, and I was forced to buy a couple pair of pants, in the size 38, the size that I had kind of like officially like waved past by, and truthfully, thankfully, I got rid of most of all those 38s. But when it came down to having to wear clothes and you're about to break a button, probably kill somebody, shoot that button shoots across the table and hit somebody in the forehead. And you're trying to avoid that, so you buy a bigger pair of pants, and they fit for a while. And then slowly but surely, they too start to get a little tight. And that's truthfully what kind of happened. I would tell people, that losing the 140 pounds or 180 pounds, that I could do it again. And I think I could. I know I could. I've done it before, right? Now being a 43, it's a little bit harder. It's a little more difficult, a little more challenging. Right now I'm sitting at about 233 pounds. Wake up. Nowhere near where I should be. In January, I signed up to do PANS, and I did my third PANS as black belt. Nice, didn't go as I pleased, but or as I wanted to, as I hoped. But I was happy that I still competed. That I didn't pull out. Obviously I didn't make heavy, so I stayed in ultra heavy. Which is I've been competing at that since my first competition in 03, my first Worlds. I was ultra heavy back then, so hey, I'm still ultra heavy. just now with with a black belt. Got submitted. Wasn't the showing I wanted to, but then again, I don't need to be in that weight class, truthfully. I really need to be down 1 or 2, probably 3 weight classes. I should be medium heavy. I gotta stop messing around in these big weight classes. The only times I want to see these big heavies is in the open class, right? So, and then when the people closest to you sometimes tell you the problem, and you get so defensive, you don't want to see it. You make excuses. I mean, so truthfully, trying to do this podcast and say, hey guys, you got to do this, you got to do that, or you should do that, felt very disingenuous. So it's like, I don't want to do it. And then I started thinking, I mean, truthfully, it's, there is no, once I get this weight, my life is going to be good. It just never, there's not an end to it, right? Like, this is something that you truthfully, consistently have to work at. Now, you got to find ways to enjoy it, because you can look at that and just see an ultimate wall of defeat and not want to push forward, Or you can look at it like, man, you know what? Okay, this is just what we got to do today. And this is what we got to do tomorrow. And the only easy day was yesterday, right? That is probably the best way to look at it, and how you have to reframe things. When I'm learning, I have to reframe things in my mind, because I'm never going to be, an idyllic weight, right? I'm just not gonna stay there and be like, oh, I'm here, I never have to work at it again. And it's a constant thing, and truthfully, I have this bug to want to overeat like crazy. If you didn't see my reels when we went to Mexico in August, the paletas were good, the tacos, oh my God, the tacos were delicious. Part of it, is the inner deal, like, you go to an all-inclusive place, you're like, bro, I got to. I already paid for it. It's already granted to me. I already got to drink this, What? Yes, bring more food. Yes, absolutely, bring that too. I don't know what that is, but bring it too. It's wild, and I got a lot of that in me. And apparently, if I don't watch myself, I will get back up to 300 pounds. So now, I've been working. I've been, I realized that I got to put in some massive amount of work. So that's kind of why I embarked in this, that Concept 2 April Fool's Rowing Challenge, right? And it's a good challenge. Today being the 15th is the last day of their challenge. You row 1K a day, and every day until the 15th, you add 1,000 meters. Fine and dandy the first 5 days, 6 days. Get to April 10th, and it's starting to get hard. Today, I was on the rower for an hour and a half, and it sucked. But because I'm not just going to stop today, I decided last year I laddered down, right? So I went April 15th, April 16th, I did a 14K, repeated. But I ended on April 29th. April 30th, I had nothing. Last year it ended up being 225,000 meters. So this year I'm going to ladder. Tomorrow, being April 16th, I'm going to ladder, do 15, instead of doing 16,000 meters, I'm going to do 15,000 meters again, and then ladder back down every day. So, 15,000 meter, 14th. April 30th, I'm going to end up on a 1,000-meter row. So, calculating 240,000 meters, so something about 80 miles, right? I'm gonna do an insane amount of miles basically in April, and I'm really doing it because I know I need a kind of a jump start, and I'm finally starting to see it. I'm starting to see a little bit of composition, body composition change with this little bit of weight loss that I've experienced. But and not necessarily experience. I'm finally back out of my 38s, and I got rid of them. I can't have them in the house, because as soon as I have a pair of 38 30s, these 36 30s, I'm like, no, I need to get the 38 30s out of the house, because at least I know that I'm too cheap to want to have to buy. It's 150 miles, so I'm too cheap to have to want to buy new clothes. So the fact that if I keep them away, it kind of hopefully is going to help deter me from putting on this weight again. And alcohol, not that I'm, I can't say alcohol consumption, not that it's an insane amount, but two margaritas, so probably not the best. And I know there's a lot of people, oh, well, you got to drink liquor straight, just straight tequila or just whiskey. No. I think the truthfully is there's no need to be drinking. I know it's fun. It's a good time. But truthfully, just it is just a poison, right? So yeah, let me nice little update for episode 65. My plan is I want to walk you guys through the next 50 weeks, because Pans again is going to be here in 2027, and I think for the foreseeable future, IBJJF Pans is going to be here in Orlando. So it's going to be my major tournament that I'm definitely going to have to do every year it comes through. And while I've yet to find success in that tournament, I will. So, as I train every week, doing whatever I add and whatever the accessory work I'm going to do, I'll try to keep you guys posted. Mainly doing this for the one guy who probably I needed to listen to when I was, that 26-year-old working in an office who thought his only way out was bariatric surgery and or now that Zempi, right? Like everybody's on, not everybody. It is very easy to want to get the easy pill, the easy way out. And I truthfully talk about it. I 1000% think I would have done it. I switched jobs looking for an opportunity to get bariatric surgery. I had switched in 2015, 11 years ago now. In October, I switched jobs for another firm that had better insurance. And while it did, it would have been covered. Thankfully, it's still that was still excluded. I actually got something else done while I was there, and for anybody who suffers from severe allergies, look into and sinus infections, look into balloon sinuplasty. I did get that done, and let me tell you, my life has changed since then. One of the most painful things I've ever done. However, it's been beneficial. I don't think I've had a single sinus infection since I've had that done. So big ups to that. But I truthfully think I would have done, I even tried. There was a couple of times I went to different Celebration Health. It's a different kind of like seminars and stuff of trying to get and how to get the medical insurance to approve it. So I was truthfully looking for an easy way out. And I know how, like I said, how defeating, how looking at that wall, looking at yourself in the mirror as someone who's 380 pounds, with your belly, with 3 of your bellies sagging over your waist, and you got a problem. You don't know how to, it's just, man, it's like, seriously, I such a big problem. You're just looking at just like, how could this ever, change? Now, knowing that I myself have already have done it before, and while it's difficult, it's doable, right? Shut your mouth. Stop filling your mouth. Eat water. Drink water. Eat good food. Stop with the sugar. Stop drinking alcohol. Fucking exercise. It's hard work. When in 2019, when I did the massive year, not just the year of burpees, when I extended that to the 100,000, it was work. I'm doing burpees again right now because I know while it was work, it helped. It helped me be consistent, and truthfully, I think that's really the consistency is what it matters and where it builds. And I proved that there was when I was consistent, I was doing great. I showed when I'm not consistent, I get fat again. So consistency is the keys, and I'm trying to want to hold myself accountable. But like I said, there's somebody out there who's 26 years old, 28, hell, 16, who's looking at himself and who knows he has to change or whatever, and man, you got this. You can do it. It's not easy, but it's simple. And like I said, if I can do it, man, truthfully, anybody can. So with that, that's episode 65. See you guys next week, episode 66.
Thank you for listening to the Fat Boy Podcast. Have a nice day.